Hello everyone and welcome to the Tarot Clinic. I'm your doctor, and in today's video, this is actually a request by one of our followers and my good friend. We're going to talk about what major things will happen in 2023 for you. Yes, I know we're still in the month of November, but I think people are already looking forward to the year of 2023 as the year is ending, and we're still not over, like not completely over with the pandemic, so people just want something to look forward to. And I believe that since we are still like at the end stage of the whole pandemic thing, I believe that next year would be better for all of us. Amen to that. And so let's get started. So I didn't prepare any objects today, but like maybe because since it's a highlight, let's just, literally find some highlighters for us to use. This one is so hard to get out of. So this is actually my working desk, you guys. So during my day job, I also do my stuff here. During my day job, I also do my stuff here. So yeah, the stuffs are kind of mixed up between the tarot stuff and my work stuff. Anyway, so we have 4 items for you to choose from. These are the 4 highlighter colors. Let me adjust the phone lower so you can see them better. Okay, this is better. Okay, so for pile number 1, we have this yellow color. Pile number 2, we have green. For pile number 3, we have blue. Is it blue? I need to check if it's blue or purple. Oh yeah, it's blue. This is for pile number 3. And pile number 4, we have this bright orange. Is it orange or pink? Let me check for a quick second. Oh, it's actually pink. Yeah, it's actually pink. Okay, so do whatever you need to do. Pause the video if you need to. Meditate and see which pile calls out to you the most. Go to the timestamps below and I'll see you at your piles. Hi, pile number 1. So if you chose this yellow highlighter, then this is your reading for what major things are happening in 2023. So we are going to take a look, like very, very briefly, at what major things are happening in your areas of love, career, and money, and then, just life in general. So yeah, let's get started. And at the end of this reading, I would like to pull a yes or no card. So you can think of any questions that has a yes or no answer, and I will pull the cards from this Angel Answers Oracle deck. Okay, so let's get started for pile number 1. Where should I put this so you can see? Yeah, let's set this higher. Actually, we're good where we were at. Yeah. Are we? Okay, I think this is enough. Okay, so which deck do I want? Number 1. I feel like I want the Prisma Vision Tarot. Let's do it. Let's do the Prisma Vision Tarot. Okay, this is the Prisma Vision Tarot by James R. Eads. He's got really incredible illustration. Too bad this is not like the real thing though. Like I would like to buy the original deck, which is bigger than this. Yeah, this is, I'm not really proud of this, but this was the deck that I bought when I was still learning how to read tarot. In fact, like a lot of the decks that I bought are knockoffs. Like I only own so far two original decks because when I learned tarot, I didn't really want to make that investment. So now that I can read it already, that I would make it a commitment to always get a new original deck from now on. Okay? Because I am a creative person, so I do appreciate creators. So let's get into your reading pile number one. What is your 2023 highlight? Let's look into love, career, and money. And you know what? Like, let's do a general theme first, and then love, career, and money. What is the general theme for 2023? What year did I say we are reading for? 2023, right? Oh my god, I'm a bit like out of focus right now. For in the general theme for 2023, what is pile number one's 2023 look like? I just want one card. One card. Which one? This one. I want this one. And then let's pull one for love and relationships. What will happen? Any interesting thing? Okay, this one flipped already. So, and the last one is for career and money. Career and money. 2023. Let's go. What was flipped? Actually we got two, but I only take one, remember? So yeah. So bottom of the deck here is Nine of Swords in reverse. So the general theme is, the Hierophant. Okay, these are major arcana cards. So not gonna lie, 2023 going to be a big year for you. This is huge. Yeah, there will be major life lessons. You know how some years we're just like serving along and nothing much were happening that year. This shows that 2023 would be a year of growth, a year of a lot of lessons learned, because we do have the Hierophant here. Hierophant is about a teacher figure. So you might be finding a mentor, or you yourself will teach others about life. Because the Hierophant is ruled by Taurus. Taurus is the gatekeeper of tradition. And Taurus also, like these people are like very square, like they stick to the rules kind of. The Taurus energy, they stick to the rules. So yeah, this is the theme for your 2023. So what I'm getting from this card is, as a general theme, you are in charge of establishing your own system in 2023. And I know that sounds more like the Emperor kind of theme, but this card was preceded by the Emperor, right? So there are some elements of it. If the Emperor talks about how they rule the material, the physical thing, they rule all of the kingdom, the Hierophant here rules the system of beliefs, right? So next year, you are ruling your own philosophy in life, your own belief system in life. Like how do you see life? If you're into philosophy, you might have learn about different school of thoughts in philosophy. Some people are like Kantian, where they believe there's a meaning of life. Some people are like existential. They believe that life has no meaning, like no assigned meaning, so you can make your own meaning. And some people are like absurdists, like people who thinks that, yeah, if life has no meaning, then so be it, like we live in the absurd anyway. So I do think pile number one, you guys are a bit philosophical, and next year there might be a shift from one philosophical views to another, in terms of how you see your life. So if before this you put a lot of emphasis on the physical, the material stuff, right? Because earlier we were talking about how the difference between the emperor and the hierophant, right? So what I'm getting, a lot of pile number ones would have this growth from prioritizing the trivial earthly, like it's not that the earthly stuff are not important, but like you view what once was important to you as more trivial next year. So maybe you were someone who cared about your appearance, right? Like how you dress up, but maybe like not in a very healthy way. Maybe you were obsessed with like the latest trends, like, oh, I have to get the latest trends because you were seeking after the validation, or you were obsessed with like wearing branded stuff because you seek the validation. Next year there will be a shift of perspective, and like you will look at the more important things in life differently. Maybe you value how you spend your money more next year. Maybe you value whether this thing makes you happy, whether this thing brings you joy, instead of looking at it from a very worldly, material perspective of gaining status through these things, there's a shift in perspective that makes you wiser. You will gain more understanding of life. You know how some people say that, we still don't have all the questions, all the answers yet. It doesn't mean that next year you will have all the answers, but like some of the life's biggest questions for you will be somewhat answered next year. So this could also be because the Hierophant talks about the institution of marriage and family, the traditional institutions, right? Or religion. So this could be your relationship with those institutions. This could talk about finding a new religion or finding a new mentor to teach you, how to improve your familial relationship, right? If previously you think that the way that you could care for your family is to provide, let's say, with material things, then next year maybe you realize that maybe your time is actually more important to them than giving the money or just only material comfort. So you want to be there more for your family, and give the quality time that they deserve, instead of just giving them material support. Or it could be vice versa. You think that by sending them words of affirmations, by showing up, then you have done all that you can. But next year maybe you realize that you should provide more, you should be more sensitive to your family's needs, things like that. Okay, next major thing coming up in 2023 is about your love and relationship. So we do have the moon here. The moon is all about the things that are concealed, the things that are hidden, and the subconscious. It talks a lot about our dream world and our intuition. Moon is ruled by Cancer. The zodiac sign Cancer is a very affectionate zodiac. I personally, since I have my 7th house in Cancer, I personally find Cancerian to be very loving, very, I feel comfortable around Cancers. Yeah, who doesn't? But yeah, there are maybe like a few people who doesn't like the affection that Cancerian gives, but I'm one of those people who does. And next year in your love and relationship, there will be this Cancerian energy where your relationships become, whether it's platonic or romantic, it becomes more affectionate. You are, again, this is about the things that are concealed, right? So because previously you conceal all these things, you will be becoming more open to expressing your feelings. That's what I'm getting from this. But also, if you were somebody who were previously very cutting with your words, maybe, or you cannot react or like you cannot contain what the negative things that you want to say, that maybe for you you're just being straightforward, you're being loving, because you care about your loved ones, then you want to be as straightforward as possible. But next year there will be like some sort of like introspection happening, like maybe me being so straightforward, maybe me being so harsh with my words, so cutting with my word, maybe it hurt my family instead of doing good for them. So this is why the theme of concealment comes up, like you learn how to conceal some things. You realize that some things are better left in your as your private thoughts, right? And being secretive is not a sign of not loving someone. Being secretive is not a sign of betrayal to someone. Maybe you just know, by being secretive, you are protecting this person from the things that they are not ready to hear. And people value honesty in relationships, so that the secret wouldn't be kept away from them forever, right? Whatever it is that is in your thoughts, like you wouldn't keep it away from them forever, just like the moon that will rise and fall, and will as the night turn into the day, the secret is not going to be there forever. So maybe next year, whenever you have a conflict with your family or friends or with your lover, you will want to take the higher road. Maybe like you want to step back and you want to like just keep some things that you cannot say nicely to yourself first. And when the water becomes calm again, and when the night turns into day again, and it's time for you to lay down all the facts, let them know how you feel and what you think, you have already find a better way to express it to them. This is a change in your attitude. Yeah, then again, we had this hierophant, right? Like there's a big shift in how you view the world around you, especially institutions. In sociology, what we call institutions are things like family, things like friendships, things like marriage, love relationship, romantic relationship between each other. So it's not, institution doesn't always mean like organization or religion, things like that. A social institution is anything that involves like social contract, like in family, right? Like it's a social contract. They are one unit. They are together. So the hierophant rules all of that, and the shifts in perspective in anything that involves social institution is reflected here in the moon, in your relationships, in your whether platonic or romantic. You have a new way to approach this, especially in times of conflict. And people around you would notice it. People around you would notice that you become less temperamental, maybe, right? Or you become more affectionate. You have learned how to tame the side of you that is not helping in your relationships. And this is a really refreshing journey, like in your development as a person. Okay, so let's get into the last part. So what is the major change that's happening in 2023 for your career and money? So I was on the fence whether I want to accept reversals or not, because I don't always read reversals. Yeah, but in this deck I want to read it. So we have the Fool in reverse. So the Fool in this deck is a little bit different, right? So if you see the illustration, the fool is depicting this bird. I forget what bird is it. Is it a seagull? Is this a seagull? Let me know. In the midst of a raging ocean, but this bird looks like he's afraid to fall, basically. But we all know that's stupid, right? First of all, there's a boy buoy floaty. I'm just gonna be an American and say floaty. There's a floaty over here that this bird can use, even if this bird cannot fly. But we all know that's unlikely because this is a bird. Like this guy can fly, right? So what is this guy worrying about? Why you gotta be so scared about jumping into the unknown, right? Because actually this is not something to be afraid of, because if he leaps from this pole, he can just fly. It's not even like a leap of faith kind of thing anymore. This is just about one person not being aware of their potential and reluctant to try something new because of that. So since this is in reverse, I would say there will be a wake-up call for you in this area in regards to trying something new, something different. Look for unconventional. Be open to things that are unconventional. So let's say if next year you had an opportunity to do, let's say what is conventional in your area is working 9 to 5 in a company, like you're going to an office. So if, let's say next year you have the opportunity to do something a little bit unconventional, maybe it can mean a job offer that allows you to work from anywhere. And you might think that, oh, am I good enough for this job? Oh, am I gonna like it? Oh, is the pay gonna be enough? Maybe the offer is a little bit lower, but the opportunity sounds exciting to you. So this is advising you to take this leap of faith and not limiting yourself to your current ability or current workplace or current ways of making money. Okay, similarly, it is also a wake-up call for you to view money as an energy that is abundant. Maybe previously I hate to say it as like mentality, but like for the lack of better words, let's just say it's like mentality, right? When people think that, oh, I cannot afford this, I won't be able to afford this. Actually, money is energy, right? And it flows to you, and it flows through you. So sometimes when it is flowing to you, if you think of it as you're not gonna find more money, you're not gonna be able to make your needs meet your needs, and not going to be able to build your wealth, then it's kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's not always, but most of the time it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, because you are not confident in your ability to at least manage your money, to at least make more money, right? We're not even talking about the law of attraction or manifestation, because honestly, I'm not the best person to talk about it. I also am not a very, very expert manifester. I just started and we are all still learning. But anyways, like in terms of like these beliefs about money, these beliefs that you cannot find new ways of making money, This is just limiting yourself to one thing, and you are not meant to be limited to just one thing. Okay, I'm getting another scenario here. For those of you who tend to jump from one job to another. So the previous advice uh, it was meant for people who are scared to do something new. Like maybe you stay in your current job for like 2 or 3 years, or you stay at your current financial state for like 2 or 3 years, and you don't see like any changes coming up, or you don't dare to make a new change. Next year it is at your advice to start, like brave yourself to make that change. But if you're somebody who likes to change jobs, who change jobs all the time, who cannot stay in one place for too long, like, 6 months in this new job and it's good already for you, like it's long already for you, then your message is actually to try to control yourself more, to be able to stay in one place for longer, not to try something that is new and untested. Some of you has issues with like the thrill of gambling something. So maybe you're not involved directly in gambling, but you like high risk things. Let's say there's a new startup in town. I work in a startup too, and a lot of people who works in startup, they love challenges, and so they move jobs very, very easily and very rapidly. Not all people in startup could stay for years in the company. Like a lot of them are like, they get in and then 3 months later they get out to find another job. Maybe they want to climb the ladder, right? Or they get a better offer somewhere else. Or some people, maybe not as extreme as like 3 months, maybe it's under 1 year, but it's still within months, right? And they already switched jobs. So in Indonesian we call them kutu loncat, which means like the leaping bug. Yeah, so these kind of people, if you are one of these people, you are advised to hold your horses and stay where you are first. Maybe there's a tempting opportunity elsewhere. Maybe there's a new startup in town that looks promising, that sounds very, maybe they have a charismatic CEO that could convince people that they will do well and they will grow very rapidly in such a short time. But you are advised not to take that risk, not to make that gamble, because they haven't proven themselves yet. So yeah, this applies if you are looking for a new job or new ways of making money, and you relate with this situation where you move from one job to another very fast. You are advised to really research before you make a leap. And even better, if you try to train yourself to like stay in one place, if that place is not toxic for you. Like, there are toxic workplace and there are just workplaces where we don't feel very satisfied about our work there. Yeah, if your workplace isn't toxic and you just not satisfied, you just want, more money, or you just want more, maybe more thrill, don't just anyhow change job. Don't just anyhow join a new company that hasn't been proven, like the track record hasn't been proven yet. Because I see offers coming your way, or you maybe are like you are talented at this, you are well known at what you do, and if you apply for a job somewhere else, then people would easily accept you, right? But this is saying just try to stay where you are and follow the tried and tested method. So even if it's not about changing jobs, even if it's about changing your structure or the way you work as a freelancer, maybe, you are advised not to make major changes too often or too soon. Like really weigh the pros and cons first, because if not, then it's the same as gambling, right? Let's say about how you make money. Maybe you are advised not to invest in high risk investments such as stocks or cryptocurrency, or like NFT if you have the money to do so. But you are advised to invest in something that is more moderate, more conservative, like maybe mutual funds, right? Like it doesn't give you very high return, but it's also low risk. So avoid gambling unless these are like the companies with a very like proven portfolio, like maybe, not to name companies, but like maybe big conglomerate companies, multinational ones that has been around for decades, and they're just doing better and better every year. Maybe you can invest in them because they're giants, right? Like it's good to have like some long-term investments like that. But if the company is like new or like still risky, you're advised to hold your horses. Okay? So I want to pull one card of advice from this magical unicorn oracle. Spirit, what is the advice for the year 2023 for pile number 1? What is the advice for pile number 1 in the upcoming year 2023? What is the advice? If 2 more times, if nothing comes up, then I'll just cut the deck. 3. What is the advice for? Okay. Forgive. It's time to let go of anger or blame. Yeah, and it falls right onto the moon card. See, let go of stress, let go, let go, let go. So a lot of messages about letting go of something. Don't take on other people's stress, breathe it out now. So we do have the Nine of Wands here at the bottom of the deck earlier, right? We didn't address this. Nine of Swords. But Nine of Swords is a card about like nightmares, about terrors, right? And this being reversed is a big terror. This terror has been lifted. So the nightmares, the terrors have been lifted. And how are you getting into that point in your life? Is by letting go. So let go of stress, let go of not believing yourself, not being confident enough. We've covered all these topics already earlier, right? But also in your personal relationships specifically, I'm really getting like there's somebody that you need to like forgive and let go this person's mistakes or whatever they do in the past, so you can move forward with a new, like turn over a new leaf, right? With a new perspective, with a new understanding. You have to like forgive this person so you can be more affectionate to them, more loving. See, this person is embracing the unicorn. Okay? So let's see, we did talk about yes or no questions earlier, right? So get your yes or no questions ready, and I will just pull the card from Angel Answers Oracle. Where's the yes or no card? So concentrate, think about your questions. Think about your question that has a yes or no answer, okay? So Spirit Guides, the answer to pile number 1's question. What is the answer to pile number 1's question, please? 2, 3. Oops. no, and there's something better. So this is a hard no because this deck has like no without the exclamation mark, like just no. And this card is no. So this is a hard pass. This is a hard no. Whatever you're asking for will not be coming true because there's something better. There's something better. And at the bottom of the deck, we have reconsider. So this ties a lot into what we talked about earlier about changing your perspective, shifting what you value, right? Like when you value one thing, and turns out it's not doing you any good, then maybe you should reconsider to reconsider your values because there might be something better. There is something better, right? That you can get. So yeah, that's all I have for you, pile number one. Interesting reading. I want to thank your guides, my guides, and all the positive energy that has been helping us. Thank you for thank you for letting me read for you. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye for now. Hello, pile number two. So if you chose this green color highlighter, then this is your reading for what major things are happening in 2023. So this is your year, the overview of your year in 2023. Sometimes we do get events, sometimes we get like advices instead. So yeah. Oh, and by the way, in the end of this reading, in the end of your pile, we will get a yes or no answer from the Angel Answers Oracle deck. So think about a question with a yes or no answer, and we will answer it with this deck, okay? At the end of our reading. Let's see, which deck do I want for pile number two? Pile number two. Do I want this one? I think I want this one. Oh, I know where is this going. Whenever I'm into like using this deck, it's usually talking about your professional life or your financial situation. So we'll see about that. Then again, you have the green color. So green is usually associated with money, with finances, fertility, and harvest. So yeah, maybe you pile number two, you are worrying about money. So we'll get cards that will show us about your major areas in life. So first of all, we'll get a general theme of how 2023 is going to be for you, and then we'll get the love and relationship card and the career and money card. Okay, what major things are coming up generally in pile number two's life in 2023 spirit. So this is one of the original deck that I own. I mean, when I learned tarot, I used to buy like a knockoff decks. But this is one of the original ones that I buy. So this is very, very nice to shuffle, you guys. And I swear, like, I only want to buy original decks from now on as much as possible because I'm a creative person also. Like I work in creative, so I know how important it is to buy original product and value the creator's work. Okay, so general theme. This card wants to pop out, but we'll see. General theme for pile number two. What major stuff is coming 2023? What major thing is happening in 2023 for pile number two? If you know, if you can see my camera setting right now, it's really hard to shuffle on cam. Okay, I'll just move over. What major things are happening generally in pile number three's life in 2023? Generally. Let's get a general theme, please. Ooh! Okay, we got a few cards coming out here, but I do want to pick just one on top. We have the Wheel of Fortune. Your luck is turning around. So 2023, if you're looking for a sign, it will be your lucky year, okay? So what else? In love and relationship, pile number 2. What is happening in love and relationship for pile number 2? Ooh, I was being flashed a few cards, and somebody might be getting engaged or getting married in 2023. But let's see. Or ascending to a higher level of commitment. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see what card actually popped out. Pile number 2. Ooh. Oh, that one wants to come out. It came out. It did. Okay, so the Lovers. See, somebody's getting engaged or getting married, or even if you're single, next year you might meet someone. Okay, so last one, the Money and career. What major things? Ooh, this is so fast. We just have 3 of Pentacles. So bottom of the deck here is the Queen of Swords. So what this is telling me, next year your major one of the major thing that happens to you next year actually comes from within you. There's a change of attitude. So you are more assertive. You speak up for what you need, you know, like you speak up for your rights and what you deserve. So you communicate clearly whether you want something or you don't want something, right? Like you can communicate clearly what your needs and wants are. And I don't know, somehow it's also telling me about like how you communicate with the universe. Call it manifesting if you want. You know what you want in life. Like it's as if this past few years you've been swayed by, you know, the waves in the ocean, and you just, I don't really know where to go, so let's just see how it goes. But next year you're like this Queen of Swords who figured it out already. Like you figure where you want to go next. And this is maybe what is represented by the Wheel of Fortune over here. So Wheel of Fortune is a change of something, right? Usually it's a change of luck. So since it's coming up upright, then it is a good sign. It's a good omen. So whatever change that you made, like it's for the better. It will affect your life for the better. So let's say, oh, by the way, maybe number 3 is important to you. Maybe it's significant because I'm seeing like 3 figures here, right? And this 3 of coins. Number 6 must be important. Number 10 might be important. We also have the signs Gemini here. A lot of air sign vibes. So Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Yeah, a lot of air sign vibes. But also this feels very earthy, very grounding, this pile. So maybe you both have strong earth sign and what air sign placement in your chart. And next year it will all be, you know, be important. Like these placements in your chart would be important in your life next year. Maybe you will take on some of the characteristics from the air sign and some of the characteristics from the earth sign, right? So it's not always about like earth sign because it's like up in the air, but the earth sign, they are very grounded. Their feet touch the ground, so you get your head in the clouds but your feet still touch the ground. So this is telling me yeah, so you're like this queen of swords. You are smart, you are sharp, right? You know what you want, but also those expectations are realistic. It's not very unreal, very utopian, it's something that is within reach. And you realize that it is within reach, previously maybe you didn't know how to go there. That's why you've been in the status quo of your life. But next year, it looks like you will take more charge of your life, be more assertive. And in general, this change will just bring you more good things, because sometimes the universe already prepared this good stuff for us, right? But we weren't ready to ask for it. Now that you're ready to ask for it, then it will come to you. Yeah, the swords here, see, even if the Wheel of Fortune is not of the air sign energy, correct me if I'm wrong, okay? But I didn't remember this as an air sign energy, but they both have the swords, right? And this is air sign energy also, so communication is an important part for you. If you want something, please do communicate it, because previously maybe you just drop subtle hints here and there, right? And expect people to understand what you want. But now you can actually communicate better, like you can put it directly, straightforwardly, instead of just circling around the issue. I see improvement in your understanding, like intellectually you are improving. So I don't know whether maybe next year you are going to a course or learn something new. Maybe you get a scholarship, but there's an improvement in terms of your knowledge, in terms of your wisdom. And also your attitude, right? You're leaving behind the childish attitude and take more responsibility over your life, basically. Okay, so next, what major things are coming up in love? As we mentioned earlier, this might be talking about as you know what like relationships escalating to a new level of commitment. If this is talking about platonic, it means like you and a friend might be getting closer, right? If it's talking about your family, you and your, let's say, your parents will repair the relationship, so your bond is stronger than ever. And if it's talking about your romantic relationship, for those of you who are attached, this would escalate your relationship to a new level of commitment. Let's say you are dating now exclusively. Maybe the next level for your relationship would be like moving in together or getting engaged or getting married, right? For those of you who are married, the next level would be like maybe you want to start thinking about having kids, right? Or I don't know how you divide your assets. Maybe you want to do something about that. Or in general, you feel just a deeper sense of connection with this person. Like if previously you didn't think that you will love this person so much, then next year there will be something that happens that makes you realize that. Another thing about the lovers is a card about choices. Um, And these are because Gemini is a sign of duality. Like there's always two sides, there's always pros and cons. So this could apply for some of you. This could mean literally you could be asked to choose between two potential romantic partner, and these two people would be like different. They would maybe have a different personality or different background. Something about them are distinctly different. Maybe what they want is different. So let's say one person is more nurturing, they're more caring, more protective, more like they want something more stable. They want to nurture something for the long term. And the other one is very affectionate, very, like a passionate lover, but like they don't really want something long term. But they do like being with two of them for like different reasons, and you are asked to choose between these two potential people potential person, potential people, yeah, you know what I mean. Next year, you are really asked to look into what you want. See, the Queen of Swords. Think clearly about what you want and what you don't want, with the pros and cons, and make this choice from your heart. So when making choices, the Lover's card here is saying that you internally already know which choice to make, like especially if it's upright, you already internally know what you want, so you know which choice is the wisest to make. So yeah, it's up to you, because you know better, the best. For some of you, this could be questions about maybe some of you are already married for some time, but you at first you were fine without having kids, or you haven't thought about it that much. You see, having kids is not, it doesn't always mean, like, oh, the next level of commitment after getting married is, having kids. It's not always that way, because it is optional, right? Like we don't get married because solely because we want kids. But we want to spend the rest of our life with each other. We want to share what we have with each other, right? But for some people, this could mean having kids. And this could be like the question that you need to answer next year. This could be the theme that is constantly coming up next year. And next year you will make this decision, make this choice, whether you want to have kids or not, or whether you want to have another kid or not. There's a decision that you will have to make together as a couple. For those of you who are already attached, maybe one of you has to move somewhere, and like, like there's a work opportunity somewhere, and like you guys have to decide whether you want to move or not. Like, there's so many different scenarios here. Please apply to your own story. But yeah, overall in your love life, it's looking great, because the Lover's card here is upright, and you have the lucky cards coming up upright for you. So whatever choice that you make, you will make the right choice. Okay, so let's see what is up in your career and money. Let me take a sip of water first. So Three of Pentacles is a card about people coming together to build something, right? As in cooperation. It is often a card that tells us about work life, about the company life, where we have different people with different job function coming together to work on a project, to build something. So what is it? What it's telling me is, I think in your career and finances, there won't be any extreme changes, because this is the only minor arcana card if you compare it to the other cards. So the major change would be like in your personal life, but your career and money won't have major significant changes. But since we are asking about what is the highlight, like what major things that will come up next, I would say some of you, this would mean a new team at work. It doesn't necessarily have to be like shifting jobs, like shifting companies. I'm feeling more so you are like, this is a mobility within one company. So you might be mutated to a different department or a different team, and you will work with different people. Or this is simply your current team, right? Like is the one that is having a restructurization or a change in personnels or a change in leadership, things like that. But overall, money and career wise, it will be a safe and like rather uneventful year for you. So yeah, I do see you finding people to work with that you will be happy to work with them, because like not all people that we work with are suitable to work together with us, right? But this is a good omen that next year, whatever happens to your team at work, whether you get mutated or there will be a change of personnel, it will be for the better. It will be with people who have the same maybe workflow or the same vision as you. This is talking to me more so about workflow than vision. Like it's easy to communicate with them at work. It's easy to work with them. Like you are like very aligned towards the same goal. Okay. So let's see, what advice do the Magical Unicorn Oracle deck has for you for next year? For pile number 2, please. It's funny because we were talking about, oh, this pile would be all about money, and turns out it's not all about money. It's all about your personal relationship. So yeah, sometimes these things happen. One card only, please. What advice do we have for next year? Number 2, the green highlighter. What is this? Worth waiting for. Your patience will be rewarded. We have happy thoughts. To feel happier right now, think about a memory or something else that makes you smile. Yeah, happy thoughts. This is talking about being positive, being optimistic. And I think next year you will feel overall more optimistic because luck is on your side. The universe is literally giving you a lot of blessings next year. This includes this person. If you're single, then this person is really worth waiting for. Maybe you've been single for some time. Maybe like it's been a couple of years since you have a committed relationship. So this person is worth waiting for because you weren't only waiting in, being idle, right? You have a lot of self-growth over the years. Even in the years that you feel are like mundane, it kind of like mundane years kind of test you for your consistency, whether you can keep on doing, like you can do something, like you can commit to something for a long time. Usually that's what I get from mundane phases at my in life. So yeah, whatever blessing that you have next year, it is worth waiting for. So if you are still waiting for it, because this is an advice, so be a little bit more patient, because this is definitely coming towards you soon next year. So yeah, let's get into your yes or no answer. So think about a question that has a yes or no answer, and I will pull a card for you. So Spirit, yes or no. Pile number 2, yes or no. Whatever their question is, yes or no. 2, 3. No, but don't stop. Yeah, below that, don't stop. Okay, so I'm sorry, I didn't mean to laugh. It's just that this deck has like no and no. And like no. This is just a regular no, and if you keep on pushing it, like this card is like another reassurance that no. It's not gonna happen. But maybe you've been wishing for, because we're talking about like a clear state of mind, right? So maybe what you have been wishing for right now is not very specific, and that's why the Spirit is saying no. Because this is not specific enough. This is not. I was reading about human design the other day, and some people in there, maybe if you're interested about human design, maybe you can look into your chart. Sometimes some people in their human design chart, they tend to do better when they check in periodically, like with their energy, and like just go with the flow and be very general about things. Like, let's say, oh, I want this kind of feeling from a partner, but they don't have to put it into like a specific list of details what kind of partner they want, right? Some people in their human design chart will do better if they are being more specific. So right now you are being asked to be more specific. Maybe it resonates with you in your human design chart, or maybe not. But right now what you need to be is more specific. Be more clearer about what you want. So that's why we got a no here, because you are not being specific enough. You are not being clear enough, right? Like, let's say all this time you were waiting for like a potential boyfriend or potential girlfriend. You know, like, oh, I really want a romantic partner in my life, but you never really think about like the specifics, like how is this person gonna be, like, who is this person, right? Like you don't list down the criteria, like, oh, this person has to be loyal, this person has to be romantic, like, because you care about this stuff. This person's love language, like, they must understand that my love language is words of affirmation, so they have to be generous with like saying I love you. You have to think about the specifics in order to turn this two no and no into a yes. So that's why the card don't stop flashes earlier, right? Yeah, there's something better, no, there's something better, and no. So whatever you are wishing for right now, it's not very specific, and you have to like really narrow it down. Really ask yourself, be, like, seek for clarity within yourself and really put it into the specifics. What do you want? Okay, so I hope it helps, I hope it resonates, and yeah, that's all I have for you. Pile number 2, very interesting reading. I want to thank your guides, my guys, and all the positive energy that has been helping us throughout this reading. Thank you for letting me read for you. Have a good rest of your day and see you next time. Bye bye. Hello, pile number 3. Let's get the vibe right. Okay. Excuse me for a moment because my candle is about to drown in their own liquid, so I have to like tilt it a little bit. Okay, all should be okay by now. So if you chose this blue color, is it? Yeah, blue color. Then this is your reading for what major stuff is happening in 2023. So I'm kind of like tired of speaking right now because I've been speaking for 2 piles. So yeah, but I'll do my best for you, okay? I'll do my best. So what do I want to use? Oh, I want to use the classic Rider-Waite. So at the end of this reading, we will ask a yes or no question. So like think about a yes or no question, and we will ask this Angel Answers Oracle deck for a yes or no answer. So yeah, you can prepare it now or later, up to you, but yeah, just so you know. So let's get started. So this is the classic Rider-Waite deck. We're gonna get the general theme of what is coming up, like what major things are coming up in 2023. The general theme first. Dear Spirit Guides, what major things are coming up generally in pile number 3's life in 2023? Okay. What major things are coming up generally for pile number 3 in 2023? Pile number 3 in 2023. Number 3 might be important for you. What is the general theme? Oops. That wants to come out, but like pretty reluctant. So we'll see. General theme for pile number 3 in 2023. Do we read reversals? Yes, we do. Okay. So in love and relationship, what major stuff is ooh, this is major. I know that it fell like this, but it came up upright. This is major because we have judgment here. Okay, so for career and money, what major stuff is coming up? What major stuff is coming up for pile number 3? Ooh. We have Queen of Wands in reverse. Bottom of the deck is King of Pentacles in reverse. Pile 3, it's like for pile 3, I'm sorry, but it looks like a wake-up call for me. It's like a warning, even that some things need to change. I do feel like I want to pull a clarifier. So Nine of Cups is about wish fulfillment, right? When it's upright, it's about wish fulfillment, and this is in reverse. So we're gonna find out about this, like more details about this energy, but it kind of talks to me about things being, how to say, it's better than it seems. Like you cannot see. Okay, pile number 3, you might have a tendency to I'm just calling you out. You might have a tendency to like micromanage the universe in a sense of like, oh, I want this thing to happen and I want this to happen this way. Like I want this blessing and I want this way to get to the blessing. But the universe wants to say to you that the way to get what you want is not always how you think it will be. So be prepared for like twists and turns, and you wouldn't see it coming, or even like you were not wishing for the right things, right? So let's say you're wishing for, oh, I wish my life has less problem, but what you needed to wish for instead is, let's say, more resilience or more, creative problem solving skills. Then again, we have this Queen of Wands in reverse. It's all about like, she's a creative person, so maybe it's about that, right? Like maybe oh my gosh, I wish my work isn't so hard. I wish my life doesn't have so many problems. But Spirit is saying like, hey, you actually are wishing for the wrong thing, because wishing for less problem only gives you like only make you soft and you're not meant to be soft. So why don't we give you this blessing, but in a process that you might not like? Maybe we give you more problems, right? But eventually you'll get to what you want anyway, because in a way, if you wish your life would be easier by becoming a stronger person, by becoming a more creative problem solver, then your life eventually will be easier because you have leveled up, right? So this Nine of Cups in reverse is kind of giving me this vibe. But let's see. I do want to pull a clarifier on this. Which deck do I want? Do I want vice versa or this? No, I want vice versa actually. Yo, it's so hard to get out. Okay, what the heck? Let's just use the foot deck. What is happening? My vice versa deck is kind of stuck. Okay, let's clarify the Nine of Cups in reverse. What is this Nine of Cups in reverse talking about? to laugh, but like this last pile, really. Okay. I'm not gonna take all of this, but like we just read it briefly. Yeah. Pile number 3. I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to laugh, but like it's so cute. Like you made a birthday wish, and what is happening like is the exact opposite of your birthday wish. It might be something like, oh, I wish next year, because spirit is really saying like you are wishing for the wrong thing. Maybe you are wishing like, oh, I wish next year, like before you blew the candle, you're like, oh, I want more money, I want to be like more famous, I want to be prettier next year. But really what you should be wishing is the ingredients to get there. Like is the it's the components, right? Like the components of what makes this cake whole, right? Like if you want to have a whole cake, then you cannot like just have like 3/4 of your parts together. You still need this like a quarter of your part that is not there yet, right? Which is like the components like in your character. Maybe like, oh, if you want to be fabulous, if you want to be like like look more fit or like healthier, you want to have a slimmer body, like if it's what you want, right? I'm all for body positivity here, but like I'm also a dancer, and I do understand that dancers has to be fit. At least if you're not like skinny or thin, you have to be fit, like your muscle have to be like strong, but you don't have the diligence to put in the work, you don't have the discipline to work out, then it's useless to make this birthday wish like or New Year's resolution about like, oh, I will slim down and I will get fabulous, but without any actual work done, right? Because you didn't have the discipline. What you should be wishing for is actually like the discipline to make it happen. I wish I could be more disciplined, or like you make a New Year resolution to be more caring about your skin, to be more aware of what you are eating, to be maybe like more aware of how you're spending money, to be more like to be smarter and more creative in spotting opportunities to make money, if instead of wishing for riches, wishing for more money to come without actually thinking about how to make it happen, right? See, money doesn't doesn't fall from the sky. And we have the King of Sides here. We have the King of Sides. We have the Ace of Sweets. We have the New Englander. This is the Clam Chowder. And the only main card I think in this 3 cards is this Clam Chowder. This is the ten of mains, which mains corresponds to the same attributes as pentacles in the for me at least. And these two other things are like non-essentials, right? These are like sweets and sides. See, this is the Queen of Sweets. Sweets you can live without, right? Like you can also live without the sides, but the main course, what's important for you, like that should be your focus, right? That should be like the thing you focus on, because this is the thing that you have to live with. You need this to live, but instead you focus on like the trivial things. You focus on the surface level, because maybe you're after pleasure. I know it kind of like sucked to hear that. Like, who doesn't want pleasure, right? Especially if you're coming from a rough background, like pleasure is not always there in your life. Maybe you had to work hard to get to where you are right now, to like, let's say, enjoy life a little bit. But even so, you're still wondering like, oh, why do I have to work so hard? Like other people have it easy. Like I want, like if they can be like successful and have an easy life, then I should be able to, right? Well, you're not wrong, but if you only wish for the result without wishing for the attributes or the things that accelerate or make those results, then you've been wishing for a surface level stuff, right? Like you're not wishing for the right thing. So yeah, this is very funny and interesting. Like I'm sorry, it sucks in your reality. It's not meant to be funny, but yeah. This is a like a little bit different File number three, maybe you're like so stubborn. So, I'm sorry, I don't mean to judge. Anyway, I don't mean to judge. And as I said that, like, I look at this judgment card. Okay, okay, enough with the judgment. But we do want to talk about the judgment card. Oh, because like the Queen of Wands here has like this girl boss energy, and like the King of Pentacles is also the boss energy, right? And like a few days ago, I was having like this really shitty day at work. It was when I look at the date, it was actually the date of like the full moon and lunar eclipse. So no wonder like emotions are running high, and like things become so intense at work. Yeah, also like the stress become very very intense, and I posted this in my close friends Instagram story. Like I post a photo of myself like in a very like in this expression of like I'm fed up with this shit. But the text that I put there was like, the spiritual path to becoming a girl boss is hard. If it's easy, then you'll get like stupid prizes such as like fans or like vouchers. I mean, like if you're Indonesian, you understand what I mean. Like I'm just gonna say it in Indonesian. Like if it's kalau mudah ya hadiahnya kipas angin gitu. If it's easy, like it's going to be like one of those lucky draw with the household items as presents. But no, like you want to be a boss, right? Like you want to have this boss energy, you want to take control of your life, you want to be successful. So the path to become a girl boss is not going to be easy. If it's easy, then you'll get rice cooker, right? So anyway, that's just something that I remember like seeing this whole spread. Let's get into your love and relationship. What is this judgment card telling us? So judgment is about fate. It's about things that needs to happen. Actually, all major arcana cards are, but judgment is like revelation. So when this thing happen, there will be like a revelation. For example, you meet somebody and you date this person, and it really leaves a big impression on you. Like it really leaves a big impact on you. Maybe you only meet this person for like 3 days, for like maybe you only go on one date with this person, and then this person actually like calls you out on your toxic behavior, or like on the things that you should change, right? Or even if this person doesn't call you out, like let's say you go on one date with this person, and then you see all the things that you don't want from a potential partner, but this person is doing it on the first date, and you're like, oh, okay, for sure there won't be a next date. But it got you thinking, and it got you like evaluating about, why do I keep on attracting this kind of people? Or why do I keep on putting up with this kind of shit in my dating life? And I don't want to put up with this shit anymore, right? Like I deserve better. I deserve something better, something that is more suitable to my wants and needs. So next year, the major thing coming up in love and relationship is there will be this moment of enlightenment. If you say so. You can say it's like enlightenment, because it's judgment, right? Like it's meant to, like there's a big lesson that you are learning, and it's not really like in a slow process, but there will be like something like an event, or something will happen like in a moment, and that moment you realize something, like there's an epiphany, like, oh, this is why I keep on attracting emotionally unavailable man. Or like, oh, my partner never really said it to me, but actually they feel this way, like they don't feel really good if I do this thing, right? Like if I let's say, oh, turns out my partner needs more attention from me. Let's say if you're already attached, and you notice that maybe you ask whenever, like you maybe you're thinking to yourself like, we're fine, like nothing's wrong, but something happened next year that makes you realize that, oh, I haven't been there enough for my partner. Maybe your partner, has a breakdown or something, and like, oh, I haven't been really listening to this person, right? Or um, let's say you've been having like the same problem. So because judgment is about like karmic things, like learning something from your karma, right? Like when we talk about karma, it's like people will repeat a cycle until they learn something from it so they can make a change. So yeah, maybe you've been having the same problem. Maybe if, let's say, you're already attached, um it might be as mundane as like, why do whenever I ask my partner for help, it's very hard for them to do what I want them to do, right? So maybe next year something will happen when you ask them for help, or like you see other people in a relationship, how they ask their partner for help, or you come across a content about it on the internet and you realize, oh, turns out I have been asking for help the wrong way all this time. So there will be these moments next year in your love and relationship, pile number 3. Okay, so let's get into your career and money. So we do have the Queen of Wands in reverse. Again, we would talk about the boss energy. So this could be, I'm sensing like some of you, you want your own business, you want your promotion, you want the leadership position, and next year you are being shown what you are lacking and you need to improve on in order for you to turn this upright, right? In order for you to actually claim your throne. Because you are not somebody who is not capable of leadership. You are capable. And that's why these two figures come out, right? Both masculine and feminine, even though they are not counterparts. But I do feel in the workplace, in the real world, male leaders tend to be more of like this King of Pentacles. They're like good at business. They're more like grounded. They make decision based on data. And female leaders, like this is not a stereo. Like I don't mean this to be like a stereotype, but like, or let's say instead of saying male or female, like we just say like masculine and feminine, right? Because we are all, regardless of our gender, whether we are like male, female, non-binary, or like non-conforming, we all have masculine and feminine energy in us, and it's a spectrum. It's a spectrum. So like you could be having this masculine side like 60 to 40%, or like 50-50, things like that. Anyway, like masculine side of leadership in the real world usually involves around like, grounded in like facts and figures, and business strategy, how to turn potential into results. And the feminine leadership in corporate, at least, usually revolves around the feminine energy is about like the creative approach in doing business, the creative approach in work, yeah, in problem solving, basically what we covered earlier, right? Thinking outside the box, believing in ideas that are not tried and tested before. So this is being original, this is being authentic. And next year, you kind of like being called out, and because by all the things that is happening around you at work and how you manage your money, like it's a wake-up call. It's not to say that you wouldn't achieve this status, you wouldn't achieve this leadership status, or wouldn't establish your business next year. These things still can happen. But sometimes people are like, they are ready to be a leader and they get promoted. Sometimes they get promoted first, and when they first get promoted, they are not like they're not fully living their new position yet, their leadership status yet. They grow in that position after they get promoted. So it can go either way for you, pile number 3. You could have this business or this promotion first and then grow from there, or you can grow first in like character wise and get this business off the ground or get this promotion later in the year. Because these cards, even though they're reversed, they are coming up. So this is a sign for you, like these things are within reach, right? These things can happen, and it definitely can happen next year, but there are some things to look out for. Okay, so you are being called out on the qualities that you need to develop in order to be in this position. For you, because this card shows up in this position, you are being asked more to be authentic. Okay, maybe you are somebody who is more intuitive rather than grounded in facts and figures, and maybe you never see like these things. Oh, okay. Okay, I'll talk about it. I feel like I know what's happening here. Let's say this could be like different scenario, but this is one example that I'm getting. You might be somebody who is creative, right? And you're original, but then where you are now or how you do your work is very closely influenced by data, right? We live in the year of 2022, and this is even for next year, where data is like the hottest jobs right now is like data scientist, data manager, analyst, things like that, right? So it's like very facts and figures. Like we are entering like the web 3.0, like and data is like more important than ever. But you are somebody who has like this creative intuition, you have your gut feeling, and you tend to maybe act from your gut feeling, and it doesn't, you think it doesn't go together with data, with this like very squared facts and figures kind of stuff, like I feel like this one idea would succeed, but since people now want more data, they want to do like what the majority of people want, like they want to do what the majority of like the consumers want, right? Or like your target market want, and it doesn't really like it's kind of like clashing with your ideals, with your because people who are like intuitive and they have strong gut feelings, usually they are more idealistic, they're more authentic, they're like against the flow, they're against the current. But to go with what the majority say, to go with with the highest like percentage option, it seems like against your ideals, it seems like against your character, and that's why like it feels like these two characters are clashing. But actually it's not, so it's resulting in like you lose the sense of authenticity, while you are not really believing in this. Also, you are not really mastering or believing in the idea of like, oh, everything has to like follow numbers, follow data, things like that. So what you're being asked next year is this leadership position can be yours, and that is the major thing that is coming up for you. But in order to get there, so this is a bit of advice as well, in order to get there, you will have to find the sweet spot, right? It doesn't mean you have to throw away your authenticity. Being like working with data doesn't mean you are throwing away your authenticity. You can still find creative ways to approach and to problem solve with the available data, right? If let's say your gut feeling things like things, let's say you are working, I'm just giving this example because I work in the creative industry for an F&B brand. Let's say, oh, next year maybe we should do a lot more online campaigns, but the data actually says that trends are shifting to offline, to like dine-in experience at restaurants, and it goes against what your initial idea was, right? You think that the business could be flourishing more if you're like pushing for online instead of offline. But this is saying like don't throw away your authenticity in a sense of like who you are, your voice and your ideas, because for creative people, whatever they create, they give a piece of themselves, right? Like they give a piece of their personality. So don't lose that in your work, but use this data to like you can still create using this data. If let's say this data is saying like, oh, people are going like against your what you believe, like it let's say people are going to restaurants, like dining in offline more than they order online deliveries, then it's okay. You don't have to like scrap away your initial idea, but like maybe you can work around it, right? Maybe you can adapt this idea to fit more into what the data demands. Or if let's say you feel like you so I don't think like more logical or grounded side of things, more practical side of things will be an obstacle for you to be creative. In fact, that's where you are pushed to be even more creative. If previously you are free to create without budget concerns, without concerning about the statistic, right? Like what people like and what they dislike. Now you are challenged to be even more creative with that, even more creative with like solving this problem, because now you have more variables. Before you don't, maybe you don't really have to like think about the budget when you are creating an initiative at your work. Now you have to put the budget into consideration, but instead of viewing it as a burden or like, this will not go together with what I have in mind, be more creative with it. Like if an idea is creative, like even a small budget can do it justice, things like that. If let's say you are thinking about like, oh, this would be cool if we have an ad for this, and your data says that, oh, this is the trend, like there's a certain trend. Let's say you want to have a packaging in like let's say we need a packaging that is more hot, like it has to look hot, it has to look like very bold, very strong for our brand, right? Like for our food, we need this kind of packaging. And then the data shows you that, oh, you know what, actually the next trending color will be like blue, which is like very far from hot, right? But you have to find a creative way to use this color, to use blue, and make it as bold as possible, right? You have to like do it differently than other people who are doing blue packaging. That's just an example. I don't want to like dive too deep into it, but like I just try to like explain it as best as possible. So yeah, I hope it makes sense. Okay, so I wouldn't want to give should we get yeah, let's do a quick one. So I'm just gonna read you an advice for next year from this Magical Unicorn Oracle. We just need one card, please. Oops. One card, please. It's too many, just one card. One card, please, for 2023. That was being flashed to me, but it didn't really come out. One card, please, Spirit. One. Oops. Okay, this flew out. We have let go of stress. Don't take on Don't take on other people's stress. Breathe it out now. Let go of stress. So this is your advice, and it goes really well together with what we talked about earlier, right? Like if you have a problem like this, like there's a mismatch in your expectation versus reality, or like with what you think you need to do versus what you actually need to do, like don't stress it out. Like take it as a fun challenge. Take it as a take it as a fun challenge. Basically, have fun with it, because Queen of Wands is a very this queen likes to have fun, right? And this queen loves challenges. This is a very fiery personality. So take it as a fun challenge and grow from it, okay? So yeah, let's get into your yes or no question. So think about a question that has a yes or no answer, and we'll pull the card for you. For pile number 3, yes or no? Yes or no, pile number 3. Whoops! It fell on the floor. Okay, it's an unlikely. And it says at the bottom of the deck, it says reconsider. So whatever you were asking about, it's unlikely to happen. But again, I do think this has something to do with what we talked about first. Because whatever you're asking about is not the right thing to ask. to put it like very simply, yeah, to really conclude everything, because it goes really well with whatever we talked about earlier. So because tarot reading is about the current energy, and with the current energy, since you're not asking for the right things, you're not asking for the right blessings from the universe, or from for the right guidance, then it is unlikely to happen. So if you want to change that, if you want to turn that around, then you need to seek, like, what do I actually need to ask? Your guys are like pretty I'm hearing like they're pretty firm, and like saying things like, yeah, you know, if you want to achieve this, you have to want to do the work, don't be lazy, so like do the work. Okay, so that's all I have for you, pile number 3. Interesting reading. Thank you for letting me read for you. I want to thank your guides, my guys, and all the positive energy that has been helping us throughout this reading. Yeah, have a good rest of your day whenever you're watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye. Hello, my beautiful pile number 4. So if you chose this pink color, then this is your reading for what major things are happening in 2023. So you're the last pile, last but not least. I'm kind of tired of like talking to 3 other piles. Yeah, I gotta find a way to talk less and make these readings shorter. Because it's like it's pretty hard to like talk and like film long readings, you know. It's tiring to talk. Okay. Yeah, so by the way, at the end of this reading, we will be asking a yes or no question. So like think about any question like in your mind that has a yes or no answer, and I will pull a yes or no answer from this Angel Answers Oracle deck, okay? So, but we'll keep it for the end of our reading. So right now, Tarot of the Divine will bring you your answers to the question of what major things are happening in 2023. Yeah, let's look for something to look forward to. Just gonna, because this deck is a little bit bigger than my other deck, so I just gonna rearrange the stuff for a bit. Okay, so spirit guides, what is the general theme for pile number 4? What is the general theme for pile number 4 in the year 2023? year, please, Spirit? 2023. What is the general theme for pile number 4? Ooh, it's so many. Like, I'm not gonna take all of this. Like, just please just come in. Your guys has a lot to say. Just one card, please. Just one card, please. Pile number 4, the pink highlighter. What is the general theme of their year? We have death. Do we read reversals? Because it does come out like this, but the way I flip it. So no, we won't read reversals. So the general theme, we have death. So major transformation coming towards you next year. But this card also comes with like, so this whole deck is about folklores, right? From all around the world. So folklores, mythologies, gods and goddesses. So we'll take a look into the story behind this card later. See if there's any messages for us. That's like, I think that's a Norwegian fairy tale, the Bear King. Okay, so love and I haven't even shuffled. For love and relationship for pile number 4, what is happening in their love and relationship? Okay, let's calm down. Cards are a bit jumpy, you know, so your energy must be like a little bit more anxious. Maybe you're a bit jittery. Maybe you drink one too many coffee, or just like anxious in general. Just one? Oh, please, you want two. Then we don't take reversals. Queen of Wands, 8 of Cups. Okay. I can't see it coming though. Okay, so for career and money, what is happening in career and money? Ooh, the Tower. Oof. Okay, so pile number 4, I wouldn't be surprised. Why do pile number 4 feel so complicated? You are the last pile, and I have to like, okay, I choose to be the messenger, so we'll deal with this. Okay, Spirit. Okay, I hear you. So yeah, bottom of the deck is the Chariot in reverse. Pile number 4. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it to you. Next year would be a little bit of a tough roller coaster ride, since we do have the Tower here. So in your career and money position, so there will be a really major shift, like major unpredictable change. So you know how next year, like there's a talk about recession and all that. There's a talk about recession and company starts, but it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy, you know, like it's something that financial, in Indonesia we have like financial influencers, even like those people who are like Instagram famous for talking about finances, but they're not always right, you know, like in these things, in like social like it's not science, right? It's like economics, politics, things like this are like influenced by the human behavior, and it's not something that is exact. It's not something that is that you can predict exactly what happened, because humans have like a surprise factor, right? Like we kind of like we can predict, but it's not always accurate. And a lot of times when people who are trusted about financial advice or outlook, and they predict a recession, a lot of time like it could be true, but it could also be like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like I heard about like one, I come from Indonesia, and like one of Indonesian financial influencer, he talks a lot about recession and how companies should really keep the money, like be conservative with their money, like don't spend too much and cut costs, you know, which results in people being laid off because the company doesn't want to, like they want to cut costs. But what we should be doing as a collective to avoid this recession, instead of like cutting people off their jobs and their source of income, actually the ones with more money should keep the economy going by doing transactions, right, and not keeping their money to themselves. So as long as there is enough money in the market, we can avoid this. But like we can avoid like a very bad recession, like at least we can minimize the impact. I think global recession happened in like 2008. 2008. So like the generation, like the Gen X and millennials were pretty impacted by this recession. And now after years has passed and we had the pandemic for the last like 2 or 3 years, next year there will be like another economic recession predicted. And why I talked about like these influencers, like Indonesian influencers earlier, because you have to be careful about like experiencing this impact, like just because there will be a possibility of this unpredictable disaster, quote unquote. Maybe your company would do this like layoff, like maybe they will like lay some employees off to cut costs. So this is like a warning, like because this is taking the most attention out of all the cards, so we have to address this first. This is like a warning for you for the next year. Please, please, please do not spend like right from this point forward. Do not spend on unnecessary things, and really be smart with your spending, be smart with your assets, be smart with your money. Accumulate funds as much as possible to prepare for this inevitable recession. I don't know how else to put it. This tower moment, so that whatever happens next year, it won't be like too chaotic until you cannot handle it. At least you have the warning now to prepare your finances. Okay, save your emergency funds. Save your emergency funds. It's important for you. And if you're somebody who like some people, they are very very disciplined with their savings, but some people, they are like a bit chill, right? Like they don't really save. They just like, oh, okay, I worked hard, then I should be able to enjoy my money, and if like there's leftover at the end of the month, then I can save all. But you are being asked to just like kind of like be a little bit more moderate about like enjoying your money, because you will need a lot of backup next year in order to minimize the impact of recession, even if it's not about layoffs, but like what will be coming next year is major, man. Like it affects us globally, economically. So yeah, times would be challenging, but at least with this warning you could have like minimized the impact. Okay, let's talk about the death card. So you have both the tower and death card, and like people, whenever these two cards come out, they're like, oh no, like these are like the scariest, I would say. Left for the devil. Like the devil is not here, but if the devil is here, you're like the trifecta of like scary tarot card combination. But actually the death card is not a bad card. Death card is all about transformation. It's about shedding what is not helping you, like not relevant for you anymore moving forward. Like you know how the caterpillar goes into a cocoon, and inside the cocoon it melts and become a butterfly, right? And when the time comes, it has to end the phase as a cocoon. It has to like shed the cocoon and become a butterfly. And even when it has become a butterfly, it still has to go through a process where like it has to like break the cocoon, and it's a painful process. And after it gets out of the cocoon, it has to like strengthen its wings first before actually becoming a beautiful butterfly with like a fully uh expanded wings, spreaded wings. What did I say? Like I hope I can still do English for like the rest of this reading. Okay, so this is the themes of the death card, and these are the themes for your next year. We of course we talk about the tower, right? We talk about the possibility of recession, of layoffs, of crisis in economic crisis. And usually in times of hardships, you are being challenged to grow, you are being challenged to overcome this obstacle, and after you overcome this obstacle, you are growing into a stronger person, you are emerging a different person that is, you know, like you have evolved. Let's see, the Bear King, right, is a story about this girl who married a bear. So one day, this girl married a bear that will promise her family wealth. Actually, like one of the story that I read is like this girl has a dream about a tiara, and when she walked into the forest, she saw a white bear with the tiara that she wants. And the bear was like, "Oh, I give it to you, but under one condition, that you have to marry me." So this girl marries this bear because of the tiara, or like the promised golds. And turns out the bear is like a cursed prince. So every night the bear turns into human. But you know, like this is fairy tale, so this is like very ancient times. They didn't have lamps back then. So every night when the bear turns into human, this girl cannot see what the husband looks like. So one day she from the advice of her family, she peek into the curtain, and like she bring the candle to the birds pula. Oh my god, my Malay came out. Like she bring the candle to the bear's face, which is now in human form, right? And she finally sees how this person, like the prince, look like for the first time. So what it's telling me is that next year, what is like the major thing that will happen is probably you will see something like in relation to the tower in your finances and career, right? Something that you saw as profitable might not be as good as it came off at first. One example, but please apply to your own situation. You've been working in this company, right? And the company leaders are like, "Oh, not to worry, you know, like next year we'll have recession, but we will not be firing you guys." But behind the scenes, they start to like silently lay people off, and you discovered it, like how the girl discovered the true face, like of the prince with the candle, right? Like next year you'll do like some of your own research, or like you come across some information that will expose you to the truth, that oh, actually it's not as good as it said. So that's a part of what's coming up next year. But the death card is like, it's telling me that it's good because you will be able to overcome whatever challenges the tower brings to you, because you will transform. This challenge is like building you to be a better person, to be a stronger person. I feel like this is a much needed challenge in your journey as a person, and hence that's why it needs to happen. It will affect us globally, but some people, they are like safer than the other. But for you, your guides are saying like the universe needs to make this happen in order to push you to transform, and in order for you to be able to know the truth, right? Because if you already know the truth, let's say you were not laid off or not yet, and you discover that, oh, like behind my back, like this company actually secretly laying off people. Of course you don't want to be next, right? Then it of course force you to look for something new, to leave behind the company. Maybe some people who are being laid off, maybe they think like working in a company is the only way to find income, to make income. But maybe as it was true with the 2020 layoffs, right? Like people who are losing jobs, they are losing the main source of income, they pivoted to other ways of making money. Let's say, oh, they're starting a business in their own home, and you know turns out they have a talent for the business that they run, and it become even more successful, or they get more fulfillment from that business versus the previous job, like working in a company, things like that. So this kind of transformation is in store for you next year. Okay, so let's address the love and relationship. So this would be platonic romantic, right? Like it would also be business partnership, but it is like interpersonal interpersonal relationships. So your relationship with other people, whatever form that is. So I think whatever happens here is a byproduct of whatever happens here in your general life, and your general like money and career, because this is something major that affects your life in a major way, right? Let's say you are being laid off and you are not from that city, and you have built relationship with people from that city. So you cannot stay there. Like let's say you are being laid off and you cannot stay in the same place. Then you have to leave, right? You have to leave the people, the relationship that you've built. So I'm seeing this, whatever happens in your relationships is being affected by the global and like this, like this tower and death moment in your life. So but you gotta do what you gotta do, right? Because right now probably your priority wasn't here, right? Because you need to focus on something else, so you gotta do what you gotta do. So whether it's romantic, platonic, it's like business partnerships, there will be something that you need to leave behind. So yeah, take it as it resonates, but don't feel bad, don't feel down if you don't feel that way. Like if you feel like your relationship right now is like as strong, as it can be, like it's stronger than ever, then don't take it as like, oh, you will break up next year. No, but you will leave behind certain relationships for sure, and this is being affected by whatever happens externally in the world. With the Queen of Wands here, you are being asked to be more independent. So if let's say this is a friendship or like a friend group, you are being asked to focus on your growth as the Queen of Wands, as the independent person. Maybe you've been having a sufficient support system in your friend group, right? Maybe you have a group of friends in this town or where you are at, and it's like your comfort zone. But the tower moment and the death moment is all about shaking things up. It's all about getting you out of the status quo, out of your comfort zone. So you need to leave behind, like there will be goodbyes, but that's not, it's bittersweet because on one hand, like it's bitter to have goodbyes, but you are being prepared for being a stronger person, right? Like, so you have to focus on that. It's saying that whatever support system that you have, your friends or your romantic partner or even your family, you have to leave your family to go somewhere else, or you have to like shift your focus somewhere else. It's saying that you have had enough of this support system. You have had enough for you to be on your own, to start focusing on your personal growth. And anyways, they would be still supporting you even though you leave them, like you leave them for a good reason. I'm feeling like there's a physical movement, like you're physically leaving somebody or a group, even more so a group. So this would be like literally like geographically moving out of somewhere. But they are very supportive of you. They are very supportive of you because they know that this is the thing that you gotta do. And you know, Eight of Cups. Eight of Cups is a card about finding their Two of Cups, right? In tarot, and like the numbers in tarot, number two and the Two of Cups talks about harmony, talks about balance. So this person here is leaving the Eight of Cups here because they know they deserve more than this. This is not doing them justice anymore. So they have to go and look for something more harmonious, more like they have to go look for something that makes them feel more harmonious. That makes them feel more like they need to look for something that's more suitable for them, right? For the current situation, because they have outgrown the old situation. But the Eight of Cups is the card about leaving with potential of coming back. Because this person is looking for their Two of Cups, and they can bring back those two cups and combine it with the existing 8 cups into 10. And 10 of Cups in tarot is a card about happiness, a card about overflowing happiness from your heart, feeling like your heart is full. You know, you have the abundance of love, you have the abundance of emotional fulfillment. This is that card is even more powerful than the 10 of Cups. So whatever separation, whatever farewell that you will have next year, you can always have the choice to come back and mend things when you are done with yourself, you know, when you are done with this process. Because that's the nature of Eight of Cups. You can choose to leave it behind, but you can always come back if you want to. If you don't want to, it's also okay. But this is something that, you know, like the people that you are leaving behind, they would understand that you're leaving them behind for good reasons. So yeah, let's get an advice card from the magical unicorn oracle. So Spirit, what is the advice for pile number 4? Okay, we already have 2 cards there. If you can see, you cannot see outside my window, but like outside it's almost, the sun is almost rising. The sky is getting lighter. It's 5 a.m. in the morning right now, and I've been talking for 2 hours. So yeah, it's good. It's nice to see the sun rising. Okay, so we have curiosity and we have imagine. Curiosity, start a project related to something you're curious about. Imagine, what would you see, feel, think, and hear if your wish came true? Okay, so this is your advice. I'm taking it as, we're talking about like you need to leave behind something, right? You need to leave behind something, but it's not all gloomy, because when the tower moment happened and things are being knocked down, what happens next is the star card, right? The card after the tower is a star card. It's about wish fulfillment. It's about having hope that things will turn out for the better. Like it will change for the better. So this card really ties closely with the star card. What would you see, feel, think, and hear if your wish came true? So you have to like keep your hopes high, and this is actually an opportunity for you. You are like, if you want to see this chaos, you want to see this destruction positively, this is an opportunity for you, because it means you don't have any excuse that oh, like I'm halfway, like if you're on a journey, right? Like if you're building this tower, like um I'm halfway there already. So I just keep on doing this thing, even though it doesn't sit well in my heart. It doesn't go with what my biggest wish is. But because you are being given this tower moment and everything is destroyed to the ground, it means you have the opportunity to build again from the ground up what it is that you are dreaming about, right? So if you always wanted to try being an artist and you've been stuck in a corporate jobs, let's say, and something happened next year, let's say people are being laid off, and you decide to just, what, like like it's not like potentially there's no good potential for me anymore in this place, so might as well, like, let's take this leap of faith and try, try to be like explore being an artist, because it's always been my dream. But all this time I've been like working this job and I didn't see it as a possibility. But right now, because I'm forced out of it now, I'm free to try. I'm free to actually try and make this dream of mine happen, right? So yeah, the advice here is actually like to see this tower moment as an opportunity to explore what it is that you actually want to do. And that's why we have like these really like big themes of leaving behind, like in this eight of cups, in this death card, in this tower card, leaving behind what is no longer serving us, leaving behind what is no longer aligned with our higher purpose, so that we are free to pursue what it is that we want. Okay, so as an additional advice, bottom of the deck here we have water. Drink more water and eat foods with water in them, such as fresh fruits and vegetables. So this is more practical advice. More practical, yeah. Also, this is water energy, right? We have the death card, which is Scorpio. It's also a water sign, and eight of cups is also water, the water energy, like water element. Nourish your body, because that's how you get the strength, whether physically or emotionally, to go through this journey. Okay, and do pay attention to your mental health as well. Like, do check in with yourself. Like, be mindful. Like, don't be so hard on yourself if this tower moment happen next year. Like, don't be so hard on yourself. Like, really, really, really remember to take care of your body, because it will affect the state of your mental health. Okay, so now we are at the very, very end of our reading. Think about a yes or no question. What I mean is, like, think about a question that has a yes or no answer, and we'll figure it out from this Angel Answers Oracle deck. Okay, so for pile number 4, is it a yes or no? Yes or no? Is the answer a yes or no? 1, 2, 3. Okay, let gravity do the work. There's something better. Okay, so this is a running theme for all of the piles because all of the piles have similar messages. Very, very similar messages in the yes or no. So we have there's something better, and the bottom of the deck here is no. So this deck has this deck has like no, the regular no without exclamation mark, and like has this no with exclamation mark, which is like a hard pass. So whatever you are asking, the answer is no, but there's something better. So don't lose hope because there's something better waiting for you out there. Okay, so that's all I have for you. Pile number 4, interesting reading. Thank you for letting me read for you. I want to thank your guys, my guys, and all the positive energy that has been helping us throughout this reading. And have a good rest of your day. I'll see you next time at your next reading. Bye bye.